Top business groups, the state's Chamber of Commerce, and a growing number of local small businesses all say New Hampshire's housing situation is hurting the bottom line and limiting the potential for this state's economy. Employers report an increasingly hard time recruiting, retaining workers because of a lack of affordable housing, skyrocketing rent and home prices, and record low inventory. How do you plan to grow the state's economy if new workers can't move here and can't afford it? Mr. Riley.
Well, from my business experience, I've always been a guy that tries to get to the heart of the issue. And right now, when we look at it, it's all about builders. You know, I was in a nursing home recently, and I talked to a lady. Her husband was a builder for years here. She said the number one problem that their family had was he was gone all the time dealing with planning boards. The zoning laws are ridiculous. I think we have about as many zoning laws as any state in the entire country. I've heard that before. We've got to come to a better agreements that we can do. But let me also say this. We've got these zoning laws that hang up builders for about 3 years, right? What happens in those 3 years? They're going back and forth. The financing dries up. So by the end of this litigious process, builders are working at 6 in the morning, going to planning board meetings at night, trying to give people an idea of what the job is actually they're trying to do. And in the meantime, their financing dries up. They don't have the customers they once did, and we're back to square one. We've got to get the bureaucracy out of New Hampshire, and these zoning laws are doing more damage day in and day out for business leaders and communities and builders.
Mr. ACR, to you next on this.
Well, the housing market crisis that we have here in New Hampshire is also being contributed by national factors as well. You got houses that are skyrocketing. I remember my house was valued, I think, somewhere around $220,000 over what I bought it for, just in 2018. Now that's absolutely ridiculous. Almost everyone who just bought a house over the past year or so is going to find themselves upside down their loans very, very quickly while the economy's backsliding. But here in New Hampshire, we need to start focusing, as Thad had alluded to, with the zoning laws in local towns. The town's got to step up and need to start loosening and allow multifamily properties to be built, and maybe some I want to say manufactured housing is the more political correct term to be using, so that we can actually start to house people, because we're losing our youngest people in the state. They graduate and they immediately leave.
Mrs. Testerman?
Well, one of the interesting things about the housing market is that we're building a lot of housing that also is providing housing to the people who are working down in Boston. But I want to address the fact that we have a shortage of workers. And one of the reasons that we have a shortage of workers, and when you eliminate 63 million children over the last 40 years, there is a ghost generation. Half of those people would have been women who would have had children, and maybe even more than one child. So that is part of the reason that we're running into a shortage of our workers here in this state. And it's across the nation. And it doesn't matter what area you're looking at. There's a shortage of people to apply for these jobs. The other problem is education. These children are not being taught to read and write. We're grooming and sexualizing them instead. And yet, employer after employer will tell you that half of the people who apply for a job cannot read, write, or compute to be able to fill out the application.